Sorry. Okay, today we're going to hear Manu's lesson that he gave Dhruva. So the story goes, Dhruva, a great young boy who is super determined, ferociously determined. He performed extreme yoga and got Vishnu to come and see him. And Vishnu granted him the highest place in the universe, which is the gateway to his own place. In other words, he granted Dhruva the permission to live with Vishnu. But first, Dhruva had to rule the earth for 36,000 years. And Dhruva was pretty upset that his brother and his co-mother were going to suffer a difficult fate indirectly because of him. So then it comes to pass that his brother gets killed by a mountain god while he's out hunting in the mountains, and then his co-mother gets killed by a mountain god too, probably, while going to look for the boy, or the young man. Now, Dhruva loses his marbles, gets really, really mad, goes and attacks all these gods. They have this epic battle, and Dhruva is destroying them all, one man, destroying all these gods in the mountains. Then, we pick up the story at that spot. My page got moved. Yeah. Manu was very sorry. So Dhruva's grandfather, Manu, wasn't happy when he heard the news that Dhruva's attacking the Yakshas. And when he went to see all the violence that Dhruva was causing, he was very sorry. He was very sorry when he came to see his grandson in his amazing chariot, killing the offenseless, mysterious gods. He approached Uttanapad's son with many sages to give him good advice. "Enough, child," Manu said. "Excessive anger is the gate to darkness. It's awful that you've killed these gods who did no wrong. My dear, your reprehensible deeds speak ill of our whole dynasty. You're killing the sub-divinities who have done nothing to you. One of them offended us by killing your brother. Out of affection's grief, you've killed so many of them, just because they're somehow related to your brother's killer. Sadhus who are devoted to Rishikesh never behave like this. This hatred for others is the way of animalistic men who embrace their external body as the true self." Really interesting stuff. Let's just recap what he said. Excessive anger is the gate to darkness. That's a good point. Anger is the gate to confusion. And then by confusion, you wind up doing stupid things. And then by stupid things, you get bad results. So anger tends to lead. Anger which is out of control. Anger which is not guided by solid intellect is the gate to darkness. Then he says, you're killing people that are innocent. That's excessive anger. That's the problem. It's not a problem to kill people who are guilty, according to Vedic thinking. It's not a problem to kill a killer. It's not a problem to defend against an aggressor using force. It's a problem to attack an innocent person. It's a problem to attack a weak person. It's a problem to attack an unarmed person, for example. It's a problem to attack somebody who is innocent. It's a serious problem. So Manu is saying, you're attacking innocent people. Only one of them committed a crime. One Yaksha committed a crime, and you're holding the whole Yaksha race responsible. One of them killed your brother, and now you're killing all of them. How is that justice? He says, you're supposed to be What's up with you? You're supposed to be the boy who has darshan of Vishnu, who's Vishnu Bhakta. Why are you acting like this? This is the way animals act. They let their anger get out of control. People who are supposed to be like you, who are into Vishnu, who are Vishnu Bhaktas, they're not supposed to act like that. What are you doing? Really good points. Now he continues. You worshipped Hari to the extreme. Because he's the supreme foundation of everything, the true soul of all beings, and the true essence of all things. And you hope to always remember Hari and his beloved, so why are you doing such abominable things? Is this the result of all of your great vows, that you act like this? So he said, now you are the guy who worshipped Vishnu. Vishnu is the essence of everyone and everything, and here you are destroying stuff. Does that make any sense at all? And what kind of example are you setting? Here you are losing your mind, becoming vicious and spiteful, but you're a Vishnu Bhakta, so what are people going to think? This is what Vishnu Bhaktas do? This is what happens if you worship Vishnu? That's a great example. You're really doing something good to Vishnu. You're giving a really good name to his devotees, sarcastically speaking, and you're really worshipping him nicely because he's everybody that you're killing. Then he continues. The all-attractive soul of all is very pleased by forgiveness, compassion, and friendship given equally to all creatures. Pleased by such people, the all-attractive liberates them from their enthrallment with an externally qualified concept of existence and grants them uninterrupted spiritual bliss. So he says what you're doing is the opposite of what Vishnu really enjoys. You're getting angry with people. You're punishing them excessively. You're hurting innocent people. That's exactly the opposite of what pleases Vishnu. Any questions so far? Any question? Okay, so we'll go into the next section. Now, Manu is going to try to explain to Dhruva what really happened when his brother died. So Dhruva is really, really intensely troubled, angered by the killing of his brother. Apparently his co-mother just got lost and died in the forest in a more natural way, where they had no evidence or anything, information that she was killed by the Yakshas. Probably. All right, here's some questions. So anyway, so what Manu is going to do next is he's going to try to put his brother's death into a philosophical perspective. How can you not lose your anger in this situation? How can you not let your anger get out of control when your brother gets killed by something? Okay, so one question is, was Dhruva a kid when he did that? No, he had grown up. He's grown up, he's married, and he has children now. Remember, he married Brahmi, who's the daughter of Shishumar, the Nakshatras. So he married the movement of the Nakshatras, and then they produced years and epics, Kalpa and Vatsara. And he also married Ila, whose movement, another form of movement. So actually, Dhruva means fixedness, and his two wives' names mean movement. That's interesting. And the relationship between something fixed and something moving establishes the measurement of time. Ayush asks, how is Rudra's anger different from Dhruva's? Exactly how it's different. Rudra doesn't punish innocent people. Ever. He's Mrigavayo Prastat, Mrigantavastat. He hunts hunters. Kills killers. Okay, now, let's see how Manu explains the death of Uttama, Dhruva's brother. He says, the 5 physical elements evolve into female and male life forms. Then through intercourse, these life forms fill this world with more female and male bodies. This is how people are created, and it is also how they are maintained and destroyed. All of it is just an interaction of Paramatma's external qualities. So what he says is, you're losing your inner balance because of some external event that always happens. People always die. We take death as if it's the biggest thing in the world, but it happens all the time. Go to worldometers.com and see how many people are dying right now. There's hundreds and hundreds of people dying right now. There's hundreds and hundreds of people being born. You shouldn't let something that happens all the time feel like some life-shattering event that's going to alter your inner resolve. That's what Manu told Dhruva. You're so upset by the death of your brother that you're going crazy. These things happen all the time. Birth, maintenance, and death happens all the time. Why do you let it make you go nuts? Aren't you prepared for this? Now he explains next why. Now he said something interesting. He said physical elements evolve into male and female life forms, and then those male and female life forms reproduce organically. So he's going to now explain why physical elements evolve into male and female life forms. Johnny Barker says anger can be justified by the mind. Yeah, so see how Dhruva felt it was justified. These are all yakshas. They're the killers of my brother. So I'm justified in killing them. Manu explained, no, they're not all. No, you're wrong. You're not justified in killing these guys.
Bye-bye.
One of them killed your brother, not all of them. Okay. So that's why people these days love the concept of DIY, do everything yourself. They don't like the concept of gurus or advisors or parents. And who can blame anybody, because all those people are a bunch of frauds usually. But it's very, very hard to do anything without gurus, advisors, parents, older friends, older brothers and sisters, etc., third parties to give you objective information. So Dhruva was rationalizing that these yakshas deserve this, but Manu came and said, you're crazy. They don't deserve this. You punish the criminal, not the whole class of people associated with the criminal. No, anger is, a motivating emotion. It's an emotion that motivates violence or retribution. It motivates destruction. This is why Rudra is the captain of anger and the captain of destruction. So now Manu is going to explain, or he's Swayambhuva Manu. He's the first Manu, actually. His name is Swayambhuva. He comes from Brahma directly. Anyway, Swayambhuva Manu is going to explain why physical elements evolve into male and female forms. He says, the Supreme Person is the essential original cause of all these evolutions and his external qualities, even though he himself is without any external qualities. The whole world manifests and disappears because of him, like iron being moved by a magnet. So Manu now indicates that there's some kind of something like a magnet. Not literally a magnet, but there's some kind of something that feels like, that works like a magnet. Meaning that certain objects have attraction or repulsion to certain other objects. And, if you look in physics and chemistry, this is how things work. There's 5 forces, gravity, whatever. These other 4 forces, I forget what they are. Atomic force, magnetism, that cause things to pull together or repulse apart. That's male and female. That's what he's talking about with male and female. And that's a basic part of the way that the energy of the Supreme Being is configured. It's configured to have this polarity to it so that it attracts or repulses by its nature. The Supreme Person is the essential original cause of all these evolutions in its external qualities. Even though he's without any external qualities, the whole world manifests and disappears because of him, like iron being moved by a magnet. And so the reason why there's the polarities in the thing is because he's a person. And persons have opinions, subjectivities, preferences, etc. So a person is going to create attraction and repulsion. Positive, negative. Now, Swayambhuva Manu explains what this magnet is that causes evolution. He says time is the basic magnet. Alf, when is violence absolutely warranted? Well, as I said, violence is warranted against the violent. That's it. That's the only time. And you need a dispassionate third party to also help you judge who is actually violent. Because once you are angry, your judgment is poor. So it's really, when you're dealing with anger, it's very important that you have a third party guiding you who's not angry. So Swayambhuva says this magnet is basically time, and the all-attractive uses the energy of time to set his external qualities in motion. How does time come into contact with the external elements? Manu explains his potency of individuated consciousness carries this energy into those qualities. It's only through them that his divine nature acts within this external world. He himself does not act here. It's only through them that things are killed and destroyed. He himself does not kill and destroy. All these deeds transpire merely by his distant, separated energies. The true deeds of the great origin are certainly far beyond all this. Okay, so let me summarize what he's saying. He's explaining why things die. He says the reason why they die is the same reason why they come into being, because things have a nature to come together and fall apart sometimes, because everything's positive and negative, male, female. And then there's this magnet that activates this pole that causes the things to interact with each other, and that's time. Time allows the jivas, the individuated consciousnesses, to act in this world of polarities. And as they act upon the things that attract to each other or repulse from each other, that causes evolutions and destructions. So he ends this little section by making the point that sorry, my brain just went to something completely different in my schedule. What point did he make? Oh, he ends by making the point that Vishnu himself, or the original being himself, doesn't cause the specific interactions between things. It's remotely him, but it's directly the jivas, you and I. You and I acting in this world cause the specific things to happen. Like when there's a specific creation, a specific death, a specific thing brought it, being kept in being. It's being done by us. So the specific affairs of the material world are our responsibility and our doing. But the Supreme Being just has put this energy here for us to use, this energy which has things that can be put together or taken apart. Okay, let's just backtrack and read this all again, because it'll maybe come together, and then we'll go a little forward. The 5 physical elements evolve into female and male life forms, positive and negative. Through intercourse, those life forms then fill this world with more male and female bodies, things. This is how people and things are created, and it's also how they are maintained and destroyed. All of it is just an interaction of Paramatma's external qualities. The Supreme Person is the essential original cause of all these evolutions and his external qualities, even though he himself is without such external qualities. So he's the original or the essential or the remote cause of everything that happens. But what's actually happening directly, the cause of the things directly, is not him, but is some interaction of things. The whole world manifests and disappears because of him, but it's like iron being moved by a magnet. What magnet? Magnet is time. Time allows the jivas to interact with the male and femaleness of the reality to cause things to join or separate. Vishnu himself doesn't care about this external energy. It's something that he's put here for the use of people who are interested in living a life which is extrinsic from him. So all the specific things that happen in this world are manifested by these jivas. This potency of individuated consciousness acts within this external world. He himself does not act. It is only through them that things are killed and destroyed. He himself does not kill and destroy. All these deeds transpire merely by his distant separated energy. The true deeds of the great Arjuna are certainly far beyond all this. He is eternal and unchanging, but through the agency of time, the endless creates endings, and the beginningless creates beginnings. It is only through the agency of people that other people are born, and it is they who kill one another. He certainly never takes sides. No one is his enemy, no one his ally, and mortality affects everyone equally. So Andrew Kramer has a question. What about evil? How has that come about? It's if the since give a piece of paper and a pen to 12 different people and tell them to draw a picture. Some of them will draw something funny, some of them will draw something adorable, some of them will draw something terrible, some monster, some of them will draw something lewd, some of them will draw something abstract, etc. Because different people have different natures. So basically, what Vishnu provides is a big piece of paper and a pen. Here's a world with things that you can draw here. You can make stuff here. You can be stuff. You can make a reality here. The different types of jivas have different types of swabhavas or inherent natures. So they start to act in slightly different ways. And then that difference in their nature gets exacerbated more and more the more they act. So some of them like to see how things fall apart. And also some of them get angry and upset with things. Anger is the feeling that you have when you don't get what you want. Or when it's actually, anger is defined as sadness is the thing that you feel when you don't get what you want. Anger is the thing that you feel when something stands in the way of getting what you want. So when people get angry, then they start to destroy things. So the origin of evil immediately is the anger that the individual, uncontrolled anger that we have. The uncontrolled anger is a result of ignorance or illusion about what we are and what other things are. Manu is quite surprised that Dhruva fell in the grip of this. So I was trying to explain these things to him. Johnny wants to know if the jiva can get beyond this thing. Yes, of course. Dhruva, in fact, is going to. Thanks, Andrew. I'm glad it makes sense. Okay. Okay, good. We're doing good on time. So this is cool, interesting stuff, right? He's eternal and unchanging, but through the agency of time, the endless creates. He's eternal, but he's got this thing called time. He's got this power of time. So consciousness is eternal, but enables time because consciousness has perceptions. So it's going to perceive. What do you perceive? You perceive actual perception. Perception requires change. There has to be a change in pressure or a change in intensity or wavelength or volume or something. There's to be a change for it to be perceived. When there's no change, then nothing is emitted. No sensual energy is emitted for the senses to pick up on. So consciousness has in it the ability to, it's perceiver. So part of the ability to perceive is time, which makes things perceivable because they change, they adjust, and you can see them, you can perceive them in relation to one another. So it's very interesting. The endless thing has this thing which is called time, which is going to create endings. And the beginningless thing has time, which is going to create beginnings. And then it produces also other conscious beings, and those other conscious beings interact with each other. And it's those people have mistakes to them. And so they sometimes wind up doing bad things to each other. But he doesn't take sides, he said. It's through the agency of people that other people are born, and it's also through the agency of people that other people die and are killed. He doesn't take sides. This is your world. You do it. I just gave you the world. He doesn't take sides. No one is his enemy. No one is his ally. Mortality affects everyone equally. Okay, there's more questions. Jasmine Serrano. Jiva means a conscious entity. An entity which is conscious is called a jiva, but it's some specificness to it, which is jiva means a living thing. So it tends to mean an embodied consciousness. And Atma is the counterpoint to jiva. Atma is just the consciousness which is not entangled in an external existence. Dhruva and his family are jivas. Of course, every jiva is an atma, but now, right now, they're acting as right now at this point in the story, they're jivas. How to go beyond anger from Natalia. You just need wisdom. You need knowledge. So you need people who are wise to help you. So now, this is going to go on for a lot longer, so I think we might stop here. Yeah, this is a good place to stop. You want some coming attractions? Are the stars jivas? Yeah, I suppose so. Everything is, I mean, you don't directly perceive the jiva anyway in anything. But everything is a product of the jivas interacting with this polarized energy. So anything in this world is a product of jiva. Okay. So let me give you a coming attraction. So what Manu just told Dhruva is everything is fair. Everything is happening by the cause and effect of how people interact with each other. There's nothing unfair. Vishnu is completely neutral, never unfair. He's fair to everybody. The people that die, died. The people that are born. It's not unfair. If somebody's supposed to die, he dies. Vishnu doesn't prevent him from dying. If somebody's supposed to be born, he's born. Vishnu doesn't prevent it, because all of the things are happening as a result of other things. And so they're supposed to happen. They have to happen. So what he's saying is everything is fair and everyone gets equal treatment from Vishnu. But now here's the coming attractions. Dhruva's going to say, well, that's hard to believe. Some people are rich. Some people are poor. Some people die at birth. Some people die at 3 years old. Some people die at 120 years old. How's that fair? You're saying that the world is fair. It's completely unfair. Why is my brother killed when he was a young man? That's not fair. So that's going to be one of his things that we're going to talk about tomorrow. And Manu's going to... So actually, that's going to be the main thing. Manu's going to explain why it is that you have variations of destiny or variations of luck or variations of fate in a system which is entirely fair. So your homework between now and then is to figure out the answer. Write it down someplace what you think the answer is. If God's fair, then why isn't everybody the same? Why isn't everybody rich? Why isn't everybody healthy? Why do some people get coronavirus and die and other people's don't? So ask yourself that question. Try to figure it out. And then tomorrow come back and see how Manu explains it to Dhruva. Okay? Okay, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Good, Miss Faye. Thank you. Thanks, Haytal. Good to see you. Thanks, everybody.